Good evening, everyone. We're so sorry about the delay. If anyone knows me well, Meg's this is from Bloom. Yeah, we actually had a bit of a giggling fit, so we had to get that out of our system, and now we're here. So thank you so much for joining us. So my name's Megs from Blooming Healthy.
And I'm Jamie Lee, and I'm from a couple of different places, but mainly Delectable Tours is my business at the moment. But both of us have a strong passion for the health and wellness area and definitely with children. So we thought we'd quickly, before we get started, just shoot over to us so you can see us, and we'll give a quick intro so you know who we are, and then we'll jump right in. So bear with us. There we are.
Hello. And I'm firstly going to apologise. I have healthy, messy children, and this is their so-called tidying up effort this afternoon. They didn't do too bad, but if anyone's got kids in the toy room, they will understand, but I do apologise for the craziness in the background. But I'll just start off with that. So my name's Megs from Blooming Healthy, and just a quick little intro about myself. I, over the years, have done lots of different things, and I knew there was a calling out there for me somewhere, and a few years back I decided to try to change my lifestyle and get a bit of healthiness into my life. And I always tried to look after myself, but I did a lot of crash diets and things that weren't working for me. So when I decided to eat whole food naturally, and do everything my way, I had great success, and that led me to studying nutrition, and I'm now a fully qualified health coach. And I started Blooming Healthy in that particular journey. So I've got a website where I do stories and try to inspire other people to get a little bit healthy in their world. And I've got a lovely chef husband and two beautiful kids, and they really want to make me become a better, healthy person as well. So I really enjoy what I do, and what we're about to present to you is something I'm massively passionate about, because I've had a lot of incredible results from doing these gorgeous things in my life. So I'll pop you over to Jamie, and hopefully you enjoy our little webinar. Thanks for
doing that. So again, I'm Jamie Lee, and as Meg said, thank you so much for joining us, and bear with us as it is our first webinar, and so I'm sure there'll be a couple little technical glitches, so just bear with us.
We don't even know if you can actually see the right screen, so we'll just,
fingers crossed it's going okay.
Someone text me if they're looking at something random.
But yeah, as I said before, I have started a business in food tours, so called Delectable Tours, which is one big area of passion in being food and playing host, and really showing local produce and what people do best, I guess. But another big area of my life, and for those of you who know me, know that I've been sick for many years. So I've, suffered from a number of chronic illnesses since really I was about 16, and I've always searched for ways to be healthier and get better, and just it's a constant journey. And for me, it's a huge passion to try and help other people to be as healthy as they can, because I know without your health you really have very little to give, and you really can't do a whole heap in your life. Particularly with children, I think it's so important for us to teach our children at an early age, and empower parents with the knowledge and skills and behaviours that we can give our kids to carry throughout their whole life. So that's really why I'm doing this. Particularly, we'll talk a bit tonight about essential oils, and it's something that I have probably had the most success with out of everything I've tried. So it's something I really want other people to experience, and hopefully they'll have some great results too. So without further delay,
we have a
we'll get on
good luck turtle, and let's see how we go.
Fingers crossed. So you should be able to see the presentation now. I'm going to turn on the Q&A app. And basically in the top corner of your screen, you should be able to see a little grid. And with that grid, you can click on it, and there'll be a Q&A. If you have any questions throughout, certainly type them in, and we'll try to get to them at the end as well if we don't along the way.
Just a bit of a call out. Firstly, can someone just let us know that it's actually working correctly? Is there any possibility somebody's going to jump on and tell us that they can actually see something? That would be great.
Sorry, it's just saying it's disabled. It should be. Okay, I think we'll skip ahead and hope
See
for the
how
best.
we go, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody text me to let me know that it's working.
So, to get started, we'll have a little look at what we're going to cover tonight. So, moving on to the first screen, tonight we'll have a little bit of a look at essential oils and a few different areas of healthy habits.
Yep,
so I'll pass over to Megs.
So the a huge thing that we've broken these categories up into is wellbeing, hygiene, and nutrition. So all these three we find very, very important if you have children, and even getting steps for yourself. But we'll be taking you through how we actually use essential oils and other natural alternatives to support these three areas. And we'll also let you know at the end how we get more information or to buy these wholesale if you're interested in doing so. And if you have any questions, we will try to get the box there working where you can actually let us know, and we'll try to answer them. So let's get on with it.
Okay. Sorry, a bit slow there, but I'm catching up. Okay.
So developing healthy habits. This is very, very important, and if we can start this at an early age, when they're as young as possible, they'll actually, I believe, really make some very good choices for their life, and they'll become very, very good choices. So I've broken down, I've done a little story on my website about this, and I've chosen 6 key areas for healthy habits. And the first one is exercise. So it's great to have the kids these days with all the particular iPads and games and things that we actually have when our kids get a little bit older or even younger with iPads now. We can tend to get winter hibernation or just not get out and about, and I think that's a huge important thing. So we'll talk about exercise. Hygiene, I think good hygiene habits are going to be with you for your entire life. Once you learn those, that can set you up to be a healthy person right there. Nutrition, which is hugely important. What goes in our body makes us learn better as young children, and it just really makes you grow happy and healthy without having many concerns. So that's a huge one. Also rest and sleep. So we all know ourselves as adults, if we don't get a good night's sleep, we can be a bit cranky, and this is just something that I think we can really set in very well with our kids, is a really good rest and sleep pattern, just so they can wake up each morning and be energized. And safety. So good safety habits will keep us safe and healthy.
So today we're just going to have a little look at 3 of these topics, which are wellbeing, hygiene, and nutrition. So we'll just jump into the first one, which is wellbeing. So wellbeing can be defined as the state of being comfortable, healthy, or happy, but I'm sure you all want all 3 of these areas for your children. And as we briefly mentioned before, we're going to have a little look at how using essential oils can support your children's well-being. So essential oils are something that have been around for a long time, but have recently, I guess in the last few years, certainly gained a lot more popularity in terms of you see them pop up more, and you certainly hear a lot more people talking about them and definitely using them. There are many health benefits associated with essential oils, especially with aromatic and topical use in moderation, but the quality of the oil is what is very important. So there are varying degrees of quality, and as I said, the quality does matter. So oils can be quite expensive, but generally the expensive oils have a high quality concentrate of plant material to produce the oil, whereas the many of the inexpensive ones are altered with other oils and sometimes other chemicals, and don't necessarily pass third-party testing because of their inferior quality. So high quality oils are what you should be trying to use and definitely look out for. So for this reason, both Megs and I and a number of people that we know, we have chosen doTERRA because of their Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade oils, and just that's, I guess, one of the key reasons. But we'll also have a look at a couple of other reasons why we've chosen doTERRA. So why doTERRA? So doTERRA sources their plants for their oils both ethically and sustainably from wherever the plant is indigenously grown around the world. And as a result, they currently source their oils from 40 countries, and 23 of these are developing countries. The farmers in these communities are experts at growing and harvesting their plants and then distilling them for optimal oil quality. This sourcing model is creating jobs and improving incomes in countries where they are very much needed, and developing long-term partnerships with artisan small-scale growers and distillers around the world. So again, this is something that I'm extremely passionate about. And when I heard about doTERRA's sourcing model, it was something that really drew me to the product before even trying it. So another important thing with them is that they are subjected to very stringent testing, and they have both in-house and independent third-party testings. With the regulations, the way they are these days, that some oils, even if they say 100% pure, they can contain as little as 1% essential oil, and the remainder being different liquids. So having that really high degree quality is so important, because it's, you know, what you put in your body is certainly what you get out. And finally, they work. Megs and I will probably briefly mention a couple of things to you tonight about, you know, things we've found that they've helped with, but they're so effective at supporting both physical and emotional health. So next we'll have a little bit a look at the first oil, which is On Guard. Now this is my absolutely favorite oil, something I use daily because I am constantly getting sick. But it is something that can be applied diluted, particularly with children, with a carrier oil. So fractionated coconut oil is generally what most of us use, because doTERRA put out an excellent one, and they can be put on the soles of their feet at bedtime. This oil is made up of wild orange, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. So it has a real warm, I guess, homely scent to it, and it's something I really like the smell of it as well. Particularly during autumn and winter, it is something that is great to put on the soles of the feet for powerful support for the body's immune system. And like I said, it's something I do all the time. But if you're worried more about seasonal bugs, definitely do it during the autumn and winter time, or soon as, you know, there's signs of illness coming about. So we've covered that. The other thing is that it's something that I always recommend carrying on you, because, you know, anytime that you're starting to feel sick, you can put it on the soles really quickly. And it's really important too when traveling on planes or any other public transport to support your immunity there as well.
And this particular oil for our family is great because I've still got a young child in daycare, and they tend to have a lot of little bugs that fly around at that age with hands and mouth all the time, and just by the particular play that they do. And since being with doTERRA nearly on 16 months, I've actually been using this on my youngest daughter through a little roller bottle diluted on the soles of her feet, and she's about the only child at daycare that actually doesn't have a runny nose anymore. So it really does build their immunity, and it's a really excellent one coming into winter. And if one of the girls come home with slightly some signs of a runny nose or a little bit of a cough, we actually diffuse it. And when you actually diffuse an oil, it actually kills all the pathogens in the air as well, and that really does detect the rest of the family and just really cuts down the time that that particular bug has to get into your system. So it's a great oil. That's why we chose it to talk about first, especially with kids.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with that, it's a really important point is that it's something that does need to be used over time, or it's not something that, like with some of the oils that we'll talk about, you'll see the results straight away. It's something that's really working on your immune system, and that needs time. So if you use it once and never use it again, you're not really going to get the results.
Very true.
So that's something definitely to consider. So moving on to the next one, we're going to have a little look at Balance. So Balance is a grounding blend and has wonderful calming effects on the nervous system. So it's something that, again, you can apply topically, and I personally apply it on my wrists or my heart when I have any anxious feelings or feeling a little bit nervous. Again, it also has a great aroma. So if you like, it can be used as a natural toxin-free perfume. Not so important for children, but something nice to use on yourself as well. So again, it can be applied. This one can be applied directly to your children's skin because it's already diluted with the fractionated coconut oil as the blend. It also promotes great circulation and supports cellular health and overall well-being. So a couple of things about the ingredients. So first of all, it does contain the fractionated coconut oil. It also has Canadian spruce leaf oil, herwood oil, frankincense, tannectum oil, camellia, and a couple other little things. And it's one that can be used topically, so on your skin, or again, it's another great one to diffuse, have it going, maybe when the children come home, or maybe before they've got, a school play or something going on that they might be feeling a little bit nervous about. You can just have it being diffused in the room around them. So it also provides some additional support with attention issues, confusion, and temper problems. So just think about those terrible tantrums and that I'm sure some of you are experiencing right now with them, and also mood swings. Again, this is something you might want to use yourself when you're losing your patience a little bit with them. But again, it's something that...
And Balance for my family was what really started my journey into trying to tell as many people about these gorgeous oils, because a couple of years ago when my daughter was in prep, she does suffer from anxiety, and we used to go through every morning. She used to try to make herself sick. She used to shake, just have the biggest anxiety. It was just not, as a parent, just extremely heartbreaking to witness. And when I got introduced to a workshop, and the lady that actually shared the love of oils that she had through success with her daughter, I started using Balance on my oldest, and this was probably 2 terms into prep, and the teacher actually phoned me 2 days after starting to use this oil and said what had I done with my daughter. She was just handling things completely differently. So a very, very, very popular oil that has done a huge amount for our family, because we still have those anxiety issues, but we can arm ourselves with something natural that's really, really doing incredible things for our family. And again, for adults, this is a really good one too, because it's very grounding.
Excellent. So we're going to look at one more oil to do with well-being for your children. So this last one that we'll look at is also one of my favourites, which is Digest Zen. So it's a wondrous blend that also comes everywhere with me, because it contains a number of great oils that you're already probably familiar with for supporting digestion. So ginger, peppermint, caraway, coriander, anise, tarragon, and fennel. So again, a pre-diluted roller is brilliant for rolling straight onto sore tummies. If they've got any digestive complaints, from tummy bugs to overindulging to motion sickness, It can aid in many of these ways, and certainly also help maintain a healthy gastrointestinal tract. So for any prolonged discomfort, you can also apply it to the bottom of the feet, which is something that I do if I've had an upset stomach for a couple of days. I find putting it on my feet just gives my digestive system that extra support. It's not something I would do all the time for a one-off complaint, but definitely for prolonged, I think that's really helpful. It's also a blend that can be used for any kind of discomfort, like I said. So it does, help the gastrointestinal tract. So if your child has allergies or different things, maybe you can just help provide an extra bit of support for that one. It is something that can be taken internally. It's something I take internally, but for children, I would be careful and sort of say, maybe just for adults at this point. You can put a drop in a glass of water or just under your tongue. But they certainly help calm with me as well.
And for this one, if one of the kids has woken up very early in the morning and they have actually been sick, this is really, really made for a better household, in that I've applied with fractionated coconut oil on their tummy. And sometimes as a parent, you know that when you have these vomiting bugs or they've eaten something that hasn't agreed with these things, can go on for hours. Digestion for our family and for a lot of people that I actually know has really, really cut that particular time down. So much so, just recently from a party that one of my girls went to, they had a bit of a sugar overload and they just had their eyes rolling in their head and you could see the watery mouth. We placed that oil on, and 20 minutes later we had a little bit of attitude again. We're back to normal. So it's a great oil, and that's one that's used in this family. And even for adults, if you have a bit of a naughty thing that you shouldn't eat, and that's a really good one for afterwards as well. But don't share that one to too many people.
Definitely. So moving on to our second area of healthy habits, we're going to have a little look at hygiene. So hygiene is something that, I guess we all know the basics of. We know it's, we need to wash our hands and brush our teeth, but there's more to it, because there are a number of toxins to watch out for in many products. And so we're going to look at some natural alternatives that can enhance our healthy hygiene habits. So the first one is actually with toxins and antibacterial gels. I'm sure you would have seen these everywhere and possibly use them yourself. Today, they're particularly popular through kindies and schools and childcare centres, even when you go to the doctors. And whilst they have been proven to kill bacteria, they also have a dangerous side to them as well. So there's some very concerning ingredients in them, which are triclosan and parabens. So triclosan was recently found to affect proper heart function in a study at the University of California, Davis, and the FDA is currently reevaluating it for safety in human use. Parabens, I'm sure many of you have heard about and try to avoid in numerous products, but they have been linked to cancer, endocrine disruption, reproductive toxicity, immunotoxicity, neurotoxicity, and skin irritation. So basically, parabens are pretty nasty and something you really do want to avoid. So the thing is, research has suggested that they're actually no more effective than using soap and water. So, when you can, definitely just use the soap and water. Particularly, we use these gels a lot, just before eating. So not only are these toxins entering our body via the skin, they're also being ingested when you're eating your food. So what are ways we can avoid this? So again, encouraging our children to wash their hands with soap and water rather than using, the gels are obviously a great number one alternative, but it's not always possible to do so. There might be times when you don't have a tap around, or soap in a public toilet, something like that. So you can certainly make your own. So I'm going to quickly show you a really basic recipe for this one, and it's something that you can take with you wherever you go. So to make your own, we'll just give you two very simple ingredients. So basically, you just need some natural aloe vera gel. Be careful if you're buying this commercially, just double check on the bottle that you don't have lots of other nasties or chemicals added in it. And then also some On Guard, which we've spoken about before. And you can put this in a press pump glass bottle and carry around with you. So that's a great alternative instead of using these. So moving on to the next one. Sorry, bear with me one moment. We are going to look at hand wash and body wash. So just like the antibacterial gels, they too can include some of these nasty ingredients that we've already spoken about. Again, there are alternatives, like making your own, using organic liquid castile soap and various essential oils. Again, these are best kept in ceramic soap dispensers, mainly because some of the oils that you might want to use are citrus-based, and the citrus can break down the plastics in the bottle and obviously release other chemicals, nasties that you don't want to be putting on your skin. So another good bathroom hand wash could include the On Guard, again, or if you want something nourishing for your skin, lavender or geranium essential oil is a really good option there for your body wash as well.
And this can be a great one to actually do with the children, because when they actually make something, they're very empowered and they actually want to use it. So this can be a really lovely activity to do with the kids, and you'll actually find by doing it with them, they actually want to take an interest and start using this thing. So it's a very easy transition sometimes when you get them involved.
Yeah, definitely. And it's something I remember I used to love doing when I was a kid. So it can be a fun little activity as well. So lastly, with hygiene, we're going to have a quick look at toothpaste. So pretty common sense that we all need to be brushing our teeth and flossing. Sometimes easier said than done, particularly with children, I'm sure. So again, there are a number of key ingredients that we want to look out for in our toothpaste. So these ingredients include sweeteners, so sorbitol, saccharin, other artificial sweeteners are often used in toothpaste to improve the taste, even though there are no evidence that these sweeteners are beneficial or even safe for use in the mouth. So try to avoid that. The next one's a little bit of a controversial one. Less so lately, there's more research coming out about it, but fluoride. So there are many clear arguments both for and against this, and I'll certainly let you do your own research on that one, whatever your opinion may be. Fluoride does come with a warning, so it's something that I know Megs and I personally avoid. There has been, a fair bit of research and studies around, its poison effect. And it's also why filtering water and things like that can also be really important. We've already talked a little bit about triclosan, so I won't harp on about that one again. The next is glycerine. So another controversial ingredient is found in many toothpastes, especially natural ones. So even if you think, look, I'm doing the right thing, I'm going for a natural one, it doesn't have the sweeteners, it is more than likely going to have this ingredient. And research says that it can, certainly help in some ways, but it's still mixed on whether it is harmful or not, and basically how harmful it is. So I think it's pretty safe to say that the research is pointing towards that there is some harm, but how harmful that is, I think the jury is still out on that one. And then the last one is surfactants. So many toothpastes contain these, like sodium lauryl sulfate, which gives toothpaste its foam and lather. Some research shows that this can cause mouth ulcers and cold sores. So again, Also there are a number of colours and dyes and synthetic flavours, which you obviously want to avoid. So looking for a natural alternative can be a great one. So we did say before that, you can get some natural alternatives, but be careful again of the ingredients with them. Personally, I do use doTERRA's On Guard one, their whitening toothpaste, because I found that it's free of all nasties, it has great consistency, great flavour, and love the results, but also tastes good. Finally, you can also make your own. We will quickly show you a recipe for this. I won't go through it. Basically, this one's from Wellness Mama. But if you haven't already given us your email, certainly I'll get that Q&A question box open in a moment, and we'll make sure we get that to you. We'll send you these slides. So anything that you want to have a look at again, or any recipes, you can certainly copy them straight from there. So I'm going to hand back over to Megs now, and she's going to move on to the next topic of nutrition, which is a big area of her passion and also her work. So over to you.
So nutrition, it is a hugely important one that we tend to overlook sometimes, but as parents you look a little bit further because you really do have that particular things that are growing when you're growing, and you're growing so fast as a child, and you just really need that physical and mental health, and nutrition actually helps for this. So it actually not only affects your physical but also directly your mental health, and there's a massive amount of research to support this. And I get excited with all Facebook and things like that, with all these particular groups that allow all this information now, because it gives you a better choice, and it's helping you understand a lot better than it used to in back in the day when you had to go to the library and look everything up. So there's good old Google now, and as much as you can't trust that a lot, it has got you motivated to maybe look at the different options for the kids and cook yourself. So we certainly all benefit from minimising processed foods in our diets and focusing on those fresh vegetables. And you've really got to look at the amount of fruit and good quality protein from natural sources, including organic. I actually do run an organic food box here in Brisbane, and I'm hugely passionate with organic food now, because I actually do see what the farmer actually goes through to grow all these particular organic foods, and it's quite incredible. So organic food is produced using those farming systems that don't rely on those synthetic fertilisers, pesticides, or that genetic modification that food has these higher levels of. And it's getting back to the good old grandparent days, where you look at what our grandparents did eat, and there wasn't a huge amount to deal with those supermarket aisles. It was all whole food. So when you're looking at children, because all this particular processed foods around now, and it's very loud in the supermarket, it's calling you with advertisements and all sorts of things. There's been a huge movement into more children with behavioural problems and whatnots, because they're more sensitive to chemicals. There's so many chemicals in foods these days, so they can really benefit from an organic diet. According to a naturopath, Holly George, any sort of niggling allergy issues and minor behaviour complaints can be actually cleared up when going to converting to that organic diet. So, however, you don't have to eat everything organic. There's just certain fruit and vegetables that are more susceptible to pesticides and chemicals. We're actually just going to go through a little bit of a list here, which is a really good way of starting understanding what is your good and your bad foods, and what you might be able to start buying organic and whatnot, and just bringing that up as we speak. So it's called the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15, and they're really, really a key to know. And these have changed a lot of parents in way to actually shop, and it's a really good way to start, because organic food can be a little bit more expensive. So we'll go through these ones. So the Dirty Dozen, so these are often labelled with pesticides and other chemicals. So apples is an example of that, capsicum, blueberries, celery, grapes, cucumber, lettuce, nectarines, peaches, potatoes, strawberries, and spinach. And when you actually do look at those you've got to look at the skin, and when they're not organically grown, the chemicals going straight onto that skin and actually going into the actual the whole of the fruit or the vegetable. So that's what's called the dirty dozen. So we're going to go through the alternative to the clean 15, which requires minimal intervention to flourish, and their non-organic form contains the least amount of nasty. So the list of these ones, we'll just flash those up on the screen for you. So things like asparagus and avocado, cabbage, rock melon, kiwi fruit, eggplant, mushroom, grapefruit, onion, mango, peas, watermelon, sweet potato, corn and pineapple. So if you can really get to know these, and again, if you've got your email address there, we can send you this particular slide. It's a really, really good way to start to be a little bit more aware of how to try to buy things. So we really do like this particular chart that we've done there. It's a good one.
Yeah, and it's nice to remember that, sometimes it's hard to buy everything organic, and it's sort of good to have a little list, I guess, to go off of what you really should try to buy organic and things you can perhaps avoid. So yeah, it's a good one to remember.
So buying less convenient foods that are not highly processed can also save you with a lot of money as well. So one of my very good friends, Shannon from Purely Thriving, she suggested actually buying a cub of natural unsweetened organic yogurt and sweetening it with raw honey or vanilla powder to paste instead of, and then actually buying those skinchies, those little school kindy lunch sacks that you can actually buy and wash out, rather than buying those little tubs of yogurt. I actually do a talk to parents on sugar and trying to create a little bit of a healthier diet around the place. And when you actually look, there's up to 3 or 4 tablespoons, sometimes more, and in one of those tiny little yogurts, which is really quite scary. So we also just wanted to give you a couple of healthy recipes and tasty recipes that I've personally tested in my house many, many times. And this is what some of these recipes and websites really got me started interested in cooking my own food. So the Whole Foods Simply is the site that we actually got it from. And the first is a peppermint slice. And you should just swap that out for any particular recipe that you may already have with a lot of sugar, and give this one a go because it's extremely healthy and the kids absolutely love it. And again, if you involve them in that cooking process, they're really, really going to enjoy that. So we'll be able to send you that particular recipe, which is a great one to start. And also there's all the ones there, and bliss balls, which are hugely possible in our house with the kids. If you can actually get them involved in this is something, if you do nut-free, they can actually take to school. So this nut-free particular recipe here, which is just your whole tahini, your 3 tablespoons of honey, and your 2 cups of desiccated coconut. There's three ingredients there. It's simple, and it's really, really simple to make. And when you get a little bit creative and do a few bliss ball recipes, you find yourself creating your own. I've got quite a few on my website, bloominghealthy.net, as well. And we've just created those from different flavours that we like. And once you get the idea of base of what actually makes them, the sky's the limit, and the kids love making them. But if you're one of those highly strung people and they don't do them round, that can have a lot. You might need a bit of balance. It can cause some kitchen issues, but you can get around that. So there's hopefully some recipes you'll enjoy there. So we really, really hope that you got a number of helpful uses out of this webinar tonight. And just don't be too hard on yourself. Just remember, every step that you actually do, a little bit of progress every day goes a long way. So if that means tomorrow you take this recipe, go to the supermarket, you get the ingredients and you make them with the kid, we know that you've actually hooked into this seminar and you have a passion to make the kids in your life as healthy as they possibly can. So one step at a time gets there. So as promised, we'll give you some information at what we're extremely passionate about, which is actually sharing the love of doTERRA oils and getting them for a wholesale price. So which is 25% off the retail if you're interested in supporting your family's health with these amazing oils. And we're giving you 2 options for moving forward. So the first one allows you to dive right in and start shopping and gain a wholesale account with doTERRA. Now, why I like wholesale access is that we're sharing this particular information with you now, and we're always here to support you and try to teach you more about the oils. But when you're actually looking at ordering, it's very, very convenient from your own door, and it gets sent to your own door. So you've got wholesale access, and that is really, really good prices to start empowering yourself on using these lovely, lovely oils. So that particular link there will basically give you wholesale access. So if you want to jot that down, or we'll send you the link to that, and it'll just prompt you to set up a wholesale account, and it just leads you right through. And alternatively, we'd like to be able to support you in every way that we possibly can with a quick chat. So we've actually, my gorgeous technical friend Jamie next to me here is actually,
not so technical,
this evening.
Let's see how we go.
But she's actually set up a couple of things. So it's a electronic calendar there that you can actually book in a time with us for a 20-minute time slot, and we can maybe talk about, because there's not enough hours in the day to talk about the amount of huge, amazing, incredible things that these oils actually do. So if you've got a particular problem with yourself or your child and you really want to do that one-on-one, we're offering certain times there that you can reach out to us and we can have a chat and see what we can do, and also try a sample. So please make sure you take down that website, or we will send you that information, because we're just very passionate about making sure that you're actually really arming yourself with these, uses, empowering to be able to use these oils and have huge success like we have. So the best way to actually go through is to buy a kit. I actually started off with a home essential kit when I started, and the kit actually gives you a huge value for money. It's a really great value of money. It's the best way to actually buy them. So we're just going to take you through that now. So I'll just briefly tell you what's actually in each kit. So the very, very first kit that we have is the Slim and Sassy kit. So this is a great kit. It actually has the 15 mils of Slim and Sassy, and it's got the smaller bottles of each of the 10 popular oils. So you've got your, just to run you through that, we actually have the 10 most popular oils. So in this, you will actually get 5 mils of lavender, lemon, peppermint, tea tree, oregano, frankincense, ice blue, easy air, digestion, and on guard. So the oils that we have spoken about tonight. And this is a whole other class in itself, but that'll get you a really fantastic start on cleaning with natural products as well. As a really great start there. Now the second kit is, as I said, what I started off with, which is the Home Essentials kit. And you get a diffuser, which is a great value. A diffuser, just to give you an idea, in our house we've got one in the kids' room. It's way past bedtime, so my husband would have popped that on a little while ago, but my girls share a room, and we actually diffuse lavender of a night time. And he was away when we actually first got the diffuser, and come home and said, why are the girls not fighting and arguing in that ratty time? That diffuser has caused us to be greatly appreciative around this time of the night, makes them sleep like a baby and really settle in. So you actually do get the diffuser with this kit, and you get all 10 oils, and they're in the bigger size, which is the 15 mil. So just to give you an idea, looking at 250 drops of oil that's actually in each of these gorgeous bottles, the bigger bottles that you actually get. And
you really only need 1 or 2 at a time.
Or 2 at a time.
Yeah,
it'll last you a very, very long time. So just to give you an idea, peppermint oil, which is one of my particular favourites, 1 drop of that equals 28 cups of peppermint tea. So we're talking about pure, amazing oils, highly concentrated, so you don't need much. And I, to be honest with you, still have some of those particular bottles of oils left from buying my kit a long time ago. So now the next kit that we've featured up here, which is great value, which is the daily usage enrollment kit, and this has got some lovely products in it too. So you're getting the diffuser, the oils, you're actually getting the gorgeous range of DDR Prime, which is one of the fantastic essential supplements that doTERRA do. Also an On-Guard toothpaste, and you've got the shampoo and conditioner and the fractionated coconut. That's a really one of the popular kits to actually start with. And then you're looking at the oil enrollment kit. So doTERRA has actually got a sharing opportunity as well. So if you've had as much luck health-wise as what we do, this is why we have the passion to actually share it. And you can actually get an oil sharing kit as well. So any questions on any of those kits, lock yourself in a time, and Jamie and I are happy to go through those for you. Also got a couple of little bonuses as well. So if anyone does get one of the kits today, you will be getting the Blooming Healthy Kids ebook, which is a good read and handy to actually have. I'm launching that very soon on my website, but that'll be a free bonus to anyone tonight that actually does get the any of the kits. And also a bonus to the very, very first person that jumps in tonight, they'll actually receive a gift card for 3 months online streaming to Food Matters. So I'm not quite sure if everyone knows about Food Matters, but it's an incredible website that allows you to download a lot of health movies and gives you recipes, and it's just an incredible thing. So it's got yoga classes and videos and all sorts of inspirational documentaries. So that's for the very, very first person that do. And what we're going to do now is open up to any questions. So Jamie's going to get a technical head on.
We'll try to.
And see if...
In the meantime, I'll just go back to this slide for you. Bear with us for a moment and we will try to activate the questions. So we'll stop sharing. I believe it'll come back to us for a moment, and I will try to get these questions going. Okay. We might just leave it there. Sorry, I do apologise. We are just having a little bit of trouble with those questions, but I'll certainly share some links in both the Hangout and the YouTube video that it'll come up in. We'll put it in the Facebook groups.
And we'll stick around for the next 20 minutes on Facebook. So if you wanted to go to Blooming Healthy's site and pop any question in there, or private message if it's a little bit more private, we'll hang around for a little while just in case you do have a question that we can answer for you straight away. Otherwise, just lock in a time. But we're just extremely grateful that you actually shared some of your evening with us today, and we're both very passionate about these gorgeous essential oils because they've done a great deal for ourselves and our families. So if we can be any assistance, just give us a shout out, and hopefully there wasn't too many technical issues and you enjoyed it and had a giggle.
And again, we apologise. We will get better at this. So looking forward to sharing more healthy, I guess, topics, using oils, but also around nutrition and different the habits that we briefly mentioned with the healthy habits for children. So we will be coming back with more, and hopefully a little bit more skilled in the technical areas. So thank you again for your patience. And we look forward to chatting with you further. If you've got any questions or comments, any feedback would be great as well. Okay, thanks a lot.
Stay well.
Bye.